Hey guys, I'm sitting down in my office filming. Ooh, and about to drop my cell phone. Ooh, that's way too bright. Turn the brightness up on my camera and I don't like it. Ooh, I'm gonna turn it down. There we go. I am down in my office filming. Why are you being stubborn? Trying to adjust my camera. Sorry. I am down in my office filming a video for you. My first video about kind of going the Caregiver diary videos. As you know, I changed my YouTube name to my Caregiver Life. That's what it is. I am a caregiver for my husband. That's pretty much my life right now. And my kids and all that, and a mom. So you're still going to see mom stuff and all that in there. But I wanted to come on here because I wanted other caregivers to know that they're not alone. They're not by themselves, especially the ones who feel like they are because maybe their husbands weren't so severely injured as others, and we kind of feel like we're all by ourselves and we're all kind of like alone. But basically, my husband was injured in combat quite a few years ago, and it finally caught up with him. His body just couldn't do it anymore after 15 years, and his mind couldn't do it anymore. You know, he has some medical issues, and I really don't. I've shared them before on here, so I talked about them, but it's PTSD and a TBI and depression, anxiety. I'm not going to go into any detail because this is not about him. This is about me and my journey through this whole process. So I'll go over a little backstory real quick, and then I'm going to talk about how I've kind of worked through all this in the past 2 years to kind of be a little bit better where I am right now in my life. So basically, he has been medically retired from the Army for 2 years now, and I officially became his caregiver a little over a year. But whether it's officially through the VA or not, if you're taking care of someone who has these issues, you're their caregiver, you're their helper, you're their rock, you're their support. So that can be pretty stressful. So I'm going to take you back a couple of years and explain to you the whole thing kind of sort of as quickly as possible. Basically, his body started to give out and his mind did too. And he just couldn't do it in the Army anymore. He couldn't do that anymore at all. So he got medically retired officially 2 years ago. But the process, he was out before that. He was out in July. He was on like convalescent leave or something. I don't remember. Retirement leave, med board, whatever. And so we had looked up where we wanted to go live. He wanted to move to his hometown, so I said, okay, that's fine, because we thought it would be a good fit, but it hasn't been a good fit so far for me and the kids. Well, my daughter's finally starting to make some friends, but my son's having a hard time, and so am I. But back to the thing. So I want to talk to you guys about how I started dealing with all this. And basically, it's kind of following the 5 steps of grief process, because our Army life was done. It was dead, it was gone, it was done. So basically it was denial, because I was denying that it was happening. I didn't think it was going to be happening. I didn't want it to happen because I loved my life. I loved the Army life. I loved the friends that I made. I loved the companions. I loved the people, and it was great. But I kind of in my back of my mind knew that it was going to happen and he was going to be getting out, but I didn't really want it. Like, it took me till he called me and said my med board's done and stuff, and I was just like, whoa. So the denial started to kind of fade away after that, because I knew it was coming done, and I knew I had to deal with it. I had no other choice but to deal with it. And after that happened, I kind of was excited / angry. That's at the same time. And anger, would have been the next stage in the grieving process. I was angry that this was happening to us. I was angry that I was ripping my kids away from the schools and the teachers and the friends they made. I knew that would happen in military life anyway. But with finding out our son with his special needs, I was hoping that we could stay someplace long enough to get all the proper diagnoses and all that kind of stuff, which we didn't. Um, so I was angry. I was angry that it was happening. I was angry that we were moving. I was angry that I was being ripped away from this wonderful military community that I love so much. And there's still days I wish we could go back to that life and live it. And us as, wounded warrior caregivers, some of my friends online, we're like, oh yeah, we do deployments again over some of this stuff. So I was just angry. I was angry. I would snap at little things. I would get frustrated. And I would be like, okay, sometimes I'd be like, okay, God, why are you ripping us out of this wonderful world that we're in and putting us into this, back into the crazy, civilian world, military world? I loved it because I felt safe. I felt protected. I felt I had friends, and I loved it. So there's still days where I get kind of angry, that I'm just angry and frustrated and irritated that things aren't better by now, because it's been 2 years. So anger is just something that we have to deal with in this caregiving life. We get angry sometimes. And basically, I know that it's there. Like, I can get angry, but I just have to learn to think, should I be angry over this? No, I shouldn't. Am I actually angry over this, or am I angry because I am frustrated with the way our lives are right now and with my stressful life? So that's kind of, where I was at about this time last year, because it was the first full year. I was still kind of angry. I was still frustrated. And then eventually I went to the next step, which was bargaining. I would ask God, be like, when he does his redo testing, please let him be good enough that he can go back, and let him do this, or please let my husband, all of a sudden start to feel better, so our lives aren't this chaotic craziness. And bargaining doesn't do any good. And I did it a lot. I was just like, please let my son, have a good day at school. I can't deal with the stress. I can't deal with the frustration. And I did it a lot. And I'm not really happy that I did that. That was really bad for me. It made me feel really bad, because after bargaining, depression comes next. And, I was dealing with some of that, I think, and I was never really to admit it, because I don't sleep very well. I still don't sleep very well. And it took me about almost the whole 2 years he's been out to, realize I was kind of going through a depression, because I just have days I wouldn't want to do anything. I wouldn't clean. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't make dinner. I'd make sandwiches, and we wouldn't really have dinner. We'd just have cold sandwiches, and that would be it. I mean, everybody would get fed, but I wouldn't cook like a good dinner. I'd just sit back in the bedroom and watch Netflix and just be there. That's what I would do. So now I'm going to catch you guys up to current status and feeling. I still deal with depression feeling some days where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to clean. I don't want to be helpful. I just want to be by myself. But acceptance is the next one. And basically, when we decided to try marriage counseling last school year, I knew I was getting into the acceptance stage, because that was when, you're going and asking for help, and things are going to hopefully change. Well, marriage counseling didn't really help us, because I didn't feel like talking about a lot of stuff, because, doctors didn't have the hour-long car ride home with my husband. I did. So I was the one dealing with his irritability and all that if I said something that offended him. So when, over the summer when I said we can't do that because we don't have anyone to watch the kids, I finally called my caregiver coordinator, and I said, I would like to try counseling by myself. I think it would really be helpful and beneficial to me, and it would help me understand my husband and what he's going through. And a lot of people I've talked to, when you ask for help, they agree that that's where acceptance, you're kind of accepting this is your life. What do I need to do now to help benefit me and where I'm at in my life? And for me, it's figuring out ways to help my husband and figuring out ways to be able to communicate with him better and not be so stressed out, and hopefully getting sleep. That's the next thing, is getting better As you can see, there are bags under these eyes because I don't sleep a lot. Now that school started, I'm up at 6 a.m. every day. Sometimes I don't go to bed till midnight or later. And so that's not a lot of sleep. So I just wanted, that's basically a short version of my journey. I can come on here and talk more about it if you guys would like to hear more about it in different videos. I'm still going to talk about planning and organizing and all this kind of stuff, but I wanted to get this out here because I think it's taken me 2 years to feel comfortable with where I'm at, with who I am at this moment in time, and that I'm working on being a better version of myself that I can be. So I'll be doing these diary videos periodically. If I am frustrated or have a bad day, I can come on here and I'll just chat with you guys about stuff. But I won't be, it's going to be keeping a lot of things to myself because it's, our family. So hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the series. Hopefully any other caregivers out there, please like this video. Comment down below if you're a caregiver of a veteran or a caregiver of like your spouse if they're disabled or an elderly parent, because I've done both. I helped with my dad when he got sick and my grandma, so I've kind of done a little bit of both. So it would just be nice to meet other people. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to this channel for updates and stuff. Hopefully they'll start coming more often. And you can follow me at My Caregiver Life on Instagram to see snippets and stuff of just my day and what I'm doing and what, how it's getting done and all that. And especially like what books I'm reading and stuff for caregivers or for special needs moms or dads out there. Give this a like too, because I'll have that on there. So I hope you guys enjoyed these videos, and I will see you back with the next one. Bye guys.